A new production of The King of Monsters, the original Gojira created by Toho, is about to premiere in theaters soon. After a long period without releases, we'll have Godzilla -1, which provides official information about the production and highlights the main differences between this version of Toho's Godzilla and the one from Legendary's Monsterverse. Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your daily channel for nerd news. So please like this video to help us keep you informed every day. Godzilla has become an iconic figure in pop culture, but its journey started long before 2014 with the recent American adaptation. In fact, the first film featuring this creature was released in 1954 and reflected much of what Japan was facing at that time. After the impacts of World War II, throughout the more than 30 films released, these metaphors gradually faded away with the emergence of other monsters that rivaled Godzilla. That's why the upcoming Toho film is generating a lot of excitement, as it promises to take the star back to the beginning of its story. However, Godzilla -1 is not exactly a reboot. In fact, the story is similar to what happened with another famous monster, Kong. The giant gorilla was also very popular and had a film released in 2005, exploring details of Skull Island. Similarly, Toho intends to provide a new approach, focusing on an enhanced origin for Gojira, better than the one presented in 1954, hence the title -1, as the story takes place before the first film. Another explanation suggested by Toho's president, Kojirita, relates to the state of Japan when it first encounters the King of Monsters. With the end of World War II, Japanese cities were reduced to rubble, and Gojira arrives to further worsen the devastation, becoming the -1. Kojirita explained, the concept is that Japan, which had already been devastated by the war, faces a new threat with Godzilla, bringing the country to -1. Regarding the plot, the recent teaser trailer gave an idea of the film's tone. We will see the giant lizard arriving in Japan shortly after the bombings of World War II, making the story heavier than usual. It's interesting to note the parallel with the Godzilla from the Monsterverse, which is set in modern times. Stopping the King of Monsters is already an almost impossible task, so facing him in a country completely devastated by nuclear bombs will be an enormous challenge for the Japanese to deal with this new threat. The teaser trailer features scenes of destruction, blending the effects of World War II with the consequences caused by Gojira. This appears to be intentional, and during the film, we will likely see moments that leave the origin of certain scenes open-ended. The city's destruction will provide an intriguing correlation between the effects of man's war and the emergence of an even more devastating force of nature, Godzilla himself. Another topic widely discussed by fans is the difference between Toho's Gojira and Legendary's American version. First and foremost, it's important to note that the studio had its own trademark, representing the giant lizard with an actor inside the Godzilla suit. This was clearly evident in various classic films that featured a person inside the costume. Although this doesn't bother most fans, the visual design of Toho's Godzilla is absolutely impressive. It looks truly insane. Some posters of the film have been released, showing in detail its new appearance. It can be seen that they put great effort into the texture of the skin and dorsal plates. It remains to be seen if this level of quality will be maintained throughout the film, but the significant difference between Toho's Gojira and the American version from Legendary lies in the terror it will cause with its presence. While in the Monsterverse, Godzilla is portrayed as a hero, balancing things out, the Toho version seems to care only about destroying everything in its path. It's not yet clear what has sparked all of Godzilla's fury, but apparently, it doesn't matter to him. At least that's what we saw in the teaser trailer, where he seems unconcerned that the Japanese have just emerged from World War II. This is evident when many people run in fear as the monster destroys the city with its steps. This portrayal makes Godzilla the true threat of the film. So far, we have no other confirmed creatures, which makes it unlikely that the giant lizard will shift its focus and face another kaiju instead of destroying the city. Thus, this promises to be one of the most terrifying representations of Godzilla, a characteristic also present in Toho's films, as seen in Shin Godzilla, released in 2016, which depicted a different version from the one presented in Godzilla -1. Both films, Toho's Godzilla -1 and Legendary's Godzilla x Kong: New Empire, will generate a lot of discussion among fans. The Toho release is scheduled for November 3rd of this year in Japan, while the Monsterverse sequel will be released in March of next year. So, it's almost inevitable to compare the two films, which will make the next year exciting for Godzilla fans. And let's not forget about the Monarch Legacy of Monster series arriving in December of this year too. Now, tell me, in a face-to-face battle, Godzilla Monsterverse versus Godzilla -1, who do you think would win in a mortal fight to decide who will be the King of Monsters? And while you're scrolling down to comment, make sure to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell activated. The news only reaches those who are subscribed to this channel. Thanks, guys. Take care.